Hello everybody, I just got down to the last stitch on row 15. I'm about ready to change my color. So I am going to make my double crochet in the top of the turning chain and pull that loop up through. Cut it. Pull it through the rest of the way. And I'm ready to join the brown. Okay, remember when I showed you about the yarn? Let me tilt this up a little bit. There we go. About the pulling out of this end. So you got to find that string that goes in this end and just pull it out. And then start. Wow, this one for Red Heart is really soft. Hey, maybe they're improving their yarn. I noticed that with the orange too. So anyway, this is a crochet along, and I'm just going to do the first few stitches of every new color added on. Looking at this now, I probably wouldn't have. If I do this again, I probably won't use this pattern. I just don't care for the magenta with these other colors, even though it's in the variegated. It might look better once I put the border on if I use this variegated. But like I said, you experiment with what you want to do. You don't have to do 5 rows of every color like I'm doing. You do your own pattern variation and stick to the basics. So I'm going to start and join in the brown, and let me set this down and we'll get started. Okay, I'm going to put my hook back through the top of that last double crochet. Take my brown yarn, leave a tail of about 3 inches, and draw a loop through. Then I'm going to weave the tail in as I go. Chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. Turn my work. The bigger this gets, the harder it's going to be to work on a tabletop. Probably have to do it on my lap later. Okay. Then I'm going to make a shell. Weaving the tail in as I go. I'll draw in the yellow later. This cuts in half the number of tails you have to draw in with the needle later. When you have a lot of them, it can get really tedious. Pull out. When you have a new skein yarn, it helps just to pull out a few yards at a time, because the middle can get tangled and it's a little tight, so you don't want it to affect your tension on your stitches. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to let you go ahead and continue the pattern the way we have been. And if you happen to come across this video and you want to get to the first one in the series, I'll put a link and an annotation on here. Okay. That's the first peak. I'm going to get down to the cluster stitches before I turn the video off. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to make my cluster. And then the next cluster. A little cluster of houses for the village in the valley on the mountain. Okay. So I'm going to do 5 rows of this, and then we'll come back and we'll join the multicolored yarn. Happy crocheting!